Hey, everybody. How are you? I don't even know if I can ask that question. If you're on, please say hi, give a wave or a hello. Thanks so much for joining today. I think that's all we can start with, right? Is one really deep breath. I appreciate you joining. I feel like things are changing so quickly. Every day it's as if when I wrap my brain around one major thing, then something bigger and more extreme changes. So, with me last week, I can't believe what a different place I was in last week. Just a week ago today, it started with some simple annoyances of work disruptions. And then it evolved into my kids' sports cancellations, to school being closed, to needing to cancel vacations, to our ski mountain closing, and now really trying to wrap my brain around some very significant social isolation. And anxiety is a big part of this. There's no way around it. And the reason anxiety is such a big part of this is because anxiety thrives on uncertainty. And I can't think of a time in my life's history that has felt quite as uncertain as we're feeling right now. And one of the really interesting things that I found in the last week is I am finding myself so incredibly thankful for technology. And I've spent the last several dozen years or so of my career talking about the downside of technology and how, in so many ways, it can disconnect us because often we get lost in our phone and we don't notice the people and the things going on right around us. But clearly, our access to technology now is going to be huge for keeping us connected. It's allowing me to stay connected to you all right now. It is going to allow my kids to stay connected to their peers and their teachers, and allowing us to stay connected to our families and friends and even our neighbors. So if this leads kind of into the practice that I have been leaning on a lot this past week that I really wanted to share today, and that is a mindfulness practice of finding the good. And I think it is so critical right now for us to look for the good because there is good there. And whether it's appreciating this gift of time that you've been given with your family in a whole new way, appreciating a beautiful walk in the outdoors, appreciating the fact that my teenage daughter has now taken up hiking, something which her entire life I've dragged her kicking and screaming to do, but right now that's her only way of interacting with friends. Or maybe it's just appreciating this time to pause and to reflect on what is most important. So, my challenge to you, what I offer to you, is this practice of looking for the good each and every day and sharing it. So, I invite you to share now in the comments what is something good that you can find today? What is something good that you have found in this situation? Obviously, none of us want this situation for ourselves, for our communities, for the world at large. But given that this is where we are right now, how can we offset this negative bias of our brain that we all have that's triggering such incredible amounts of anxiety by looking for those little windows of good where we can find them? It's been incredibly helpful to me to be thinking about for the last several days, the last week. So I encourage you, share the good here, share the good on this site, share the good with your friends and your neighbors when you see it. If you have a family, another idea is to make a gratitude jar. If your kids are off school today and you're looking for a project, here you go. Use any old pickle jar, anything empty you have in the recycling bin. You can have your kids decorate it. Put it on your dining room table. You can put a pile of sticky notes next to it, and have the family just write down the good they find in each day. whether it's something they're grateful for today, whether it's something good that occurred over the course of the day. Look for those little things. And when you sit down together at dinner, every few days, you can just take turns pulling out what people have written. This is incredible for stimulating the left prefrontal cortex of our brain, which processes positive emotions, which helps us build resilience, which is going to offset all of that anxiety for ourselves and our kids. So that's the practice I want to offer to you today. I want to jump in. This is now me attempting to multitask, which is always a bit tricky. To see if we have any questions in here. I see so many jumping in and so appreciative that you're here. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Chris. It's having you all. And continuing to share tips, tricks on my Instagram page right now. I'm doing a series on tips to build resilience in a world of COVID-19. So be sure to jump on there and follow that. These will be great things that you can share with your friends, with your family, with anybody that might be helpful. And the last thing I want to share is that I can't be more grateful to be part of the Silvassa community right now. Because this idea of creating a connected collective of people joining together who are intentional about their well-being and the well-being of others in a collective way, I can't think of a time when we have needed this, will need this more than right now. So that's my good for today. All of you in the Silvassa community, on my Silvassa team, and find the good. Stay safe, be well, and I'll be popping on often with more tips to help us stay connected and to help us stay well. Good luck to you guys.